Good afternoon, and welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program.
This program is sponsored in its entirety by the Southwest TV Translator Association and supported by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network, as seen on DCTV Channel 32.1.
The News at Noon program is the best assembly of news and local weather for the Four Corners region. Give us your feedback and news alerts at 677-4119.
With all that said, I'm Kendra Cook, and my co-host is Kelsey Kiesling, and featuring Jerry Tope with the weather. Now for February 16th, 2016, here's the news. The Cortez Journal includes Mancos and Dolores news and reported that the Dolores Town Board agreed to help out the Montezuma County Sheriff's plan to patrol on horseback. The town voted to allow stables to be constructed next to the town shop on the west end of town. Horses will be rested and fed there while on duty, but will not be housed overnight. Sheriff Steve Nowlin reported the Mounted Patrol Program has been awarded a $25,000 grant from the Laura Jane Musser Fund to purchase stables and equipment for the horses. The Sheriff's Office is also applying for a $60,000 Justice Assistance Grant to run the program, which would include hiring a part-time manager. It's part of our community policing program. Nolan said there are benefits to patrolling by horse, and it works well for special events. 4 Mustang geldings will be obtained from the BLM Centennial Herd Management Area in California and are free of charge. They will each go through 120 hours of training before being released to the Sheriff's Office. Ted Holland, a reserve officer for Montezuma County and policeman for Mountain Village, will further train the horses for patrol work. Once on duty, they will be used to patrol in Dolores and more remote areas in the county. They will also be available to aid search and rescue teams and for patrolling special events. The horses will be housed permanently at the Medicine Horse Facility in Mancos. They will also have stables available at the county fairgrounds during the day. Interested deputies will be trained to patrol with the horses.
According to the Durango Herald, Ignacio School Superintendent Rocco Fuchetto said he received an email threat against himself and his family if he doesn't resign by April 1st. He doesn't plan to quit, but security has been increased at his house and schools, and principals are monitoring school computers, he said. The February 4th email accused him of wasting money on construction, failing to improve academic performance, and not caring about students and teachers. It said he should not be allowed to retire from the district. Fuchetto said he discussed the threat with his wife, and they agreed about going public with it. School board members wanted to make the threat known to the public as well. The Board of Trustees extended Fuchetto's contract at its February 11th meeting. In a response letter, Fuchetto says, "This is not only a threat against myself and my family, but also threatens the security of the school community." He urged anyone with information on the threat to contact Ignacio Police Chief Kirk Phillips or Sergeant Wes Kroom at 563-4206. Fuchetto has been in charge of the district through planning for the passage of a $50 million bond issue that passed by one vote in 2011, and then through design and construction of a new middle school, major reconstruction of the intermediate school as a K-5 elementary school, and total reconstruction of the high school. The project included reconstruction of the old weight room / fine arts room as the administrative offices and current construction of a bus barn.
Published in the San Juan Record by an article by David Boyle of Capital West News, he reported that 2 bills regarding medical marijuana pass on to Utah State Senate. The bills to legalize the use of medical cannabis passed through Senate legislative committees on February 4th and will be discussed by the full Utah Senate in coming days. Hundreds of people gathered at the state capitol to voice their opinions on the polarizing topic. Overflows were set up with broadcasts of committee presentations featured in different rooms on Capitol Hill. 2 separate public hearings lasted for a total of 4 hours. The 2 bills differ in the amount and availability of medical cannabis to Utah patients. SB 89, titled Medical Cannabidiol Amendments, legalizes cannabidiol or CBD, but not tetrahydrocannabinol, which is THC. CBD and THC are 2 main components of the marijuana plant. The CBD component of marijuana does not provide a psychoactive high that THC does. This bill proposes only allowing the making of a product that would feature a 10-to-1 ratio of CBD strain to the THC within the product, so the medical product would not provide a high. This bill is very restrictive in many ways. For one, the bill would allow only for 2 marijuana cultivators in the state. Both would be highly regulated, including in their disposal of the leftover plants, once the CBD is extracted from the plant. The bill also allows for counties and cities within Utah to legislate their own bans on cannabidiol, meaning that even if passed, the product could be restricted in certain parts of Utah. Additional licensing would also be required for doctors who prescribe the use of cannabidiol. Patients and doctors would be encouraged to make themselves available for further research. The other bill, SB 73, takes a more liberal approach to the control of medical marijuana, and this bill is known as the Medical Cannabis Act. Those supporting this bill note that medicine without THC won't always provide relief for patients. This one supports the use of whole plant medication. The Medical Cannabis Act featured many testimonials. Dr. Michael Holmstrom focused on how the legalization of marijuana would decrease abuse of opioids, such as oxycodone and morphine. Holmstrom stated that overdose causes more deaths in Utah than motor vehicle deaths and firearm deaths. Holmstrom also noted that many opioids have a fairly high risk of overdose, where marijuana overdose is nearly impossible, and there have been no reported cases of marijuana overdose in the U.S. ever. Additional professionals supported Madsen's bill, although Dr. Daniel Cottom favors the Medical Cannabis Act over the Medical Cannabidiol amendments, as he does think that separating strains of the plant may become a future part of medicine.
According to the Denver Herald, Governor John Hickenlooper on Friday ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff in memory of a fallen Mesa County deputy sheriff. Deputy Sheriff Derek Geer, 40, was critically wounded last Monday while attempting to take a suspect into custody. He died Wednesday night after being taken off life support. The suspect was identified Wednesday as 17-year-old Austin Patrick Hulzer of Grand Junction. The governor ordered flags to be lowered Monday on all public buildings statewide. Flags should be lowered from sunrise to sunset. He was kept on life support to provide one last selfless act of service by donating his organs, a news release from the governor's office states. Geer, a U.S. Navy veteran, joined the Mesa County Sheriff's Office in 2001. His assignments included work in the Court Services Division, Civil Unit, and Patrol Division. He was awarded the Life-Saving Medal in 2012 for reviving a heart attack victim. He is survived by his wife and 2 children, ages 13 and 11. Funeral arrangements are scheduled for 1 p.m. Monday at the Canyon View Vineyard Church, 736 24.5 Road in Grand Junction. Interment will follow at the Orchard Mesa Municipal Cemetery at 2620 Legacy Way. The public is welcome.
From the Energy Policy Center report, across all sectors of Colorado, the cost of electricity has skyrocketed more than 67% between 2001 and 2014, easily exceeding median income growth and the expected rate of inflation for the same period, according to an extended analysis of government energy records by the Independent Institute. For all sectors between 2001 and 2014, the cost per kilowatt hour jumped from just over 6 cents to more than 10 cents. Data obtained by the Independence Institute from the Energy Information Administration and the U.S. Census Bureau showed an increase in electricity rates for residential, commercial, industrial, and transportation sectors throughout the state, contributing to the across-the-board growth in prices. In November, the Energy Policy Center reported a staggering increase of 63% for residential customers in Colorado. While global commodity prices have given Colorado energy consumers a brief respite and wild fluctuations in prices, electricity generation and costs have proven less volatile. Analysis from the earlier November report on residential electricity rates stands confirmed, saying it's clear from the data that Coloradans' income is not keeping pace with almost continuous electricity price increases over the past 15 years, consistently outpacing the rate of inflation. As part of the war on coal, the EPA finalized the Clean Power Plan in August 2015. The policy battle over the EPA's Clean Power Plan and the future of Colorado's electricity rates rests upon multi-state legal challenges to the agency's authority that just last week resulted in a stay from the U.S. Supreme Court. That decision was overshadowed, however, by the subsequent death of Justice Antonin Scalia days later, leaving the legal challenge in turmoil, given the SCOTUS's delicate and likely 4-4 ideological split and the contentious election year battle over nominations to replace Scalia. Meanwhile, Governor John Hickenlooper remains committed to pushing for a prudent continuation of planning for Clean Power Plan implementation, with the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment proceeding with its pre-stay timeline. Colorado Senate Republicans, however, called ignoring the court's stay unacceptable. Legislation addressing CDPHE's ability to proceed with CPP planning will likely be introduced before the end of the 2016 Colorado legislative session.
According to the Cortez Journal, before the craft beer explosion, brewers were developing recipes at home. Dave Thibodeau, co-owner of Ska Brewing Company, found his desire to brew at 17 years old. What started as homebrew experimentation became Ska, which opened in Durango in 1995. Dwayne Jackson, the brewer at Mancus Brewing Company, got his start homebrewing in Texas before he could go on to work at Moab Brewery in Utah and then on to Mancus. Little did these two brewers know that if they were homebrewing in Colorado, they were required to be the head of the family in order to produce their recipes at home and only for family use. In fact, few homebrewers are aware of the antiquated Colorado law. State lawmakers began addressing the issue in January with a legislative fix that would eliminate head of family and replace the terminology with adult, meaning someone 21 years of age or older. Family use would be replaced with personal use. The bill, House Bill 1084, passed out of the House Business Affairs and Labor Committee unanimously. It now heads to the House floor for debate before it can move to the Senate. And now, here's Jerry Tope with the local and national weather report.
The clouds will gradually clear throughout this afternoon. If we can have our regional map up, please. Our northwest flow is leaving, pushed east by a ridge of high pressure moving in from the west, keeping us warm and dry until Thursday. Thursday's fast-moving system, also from the west, will bring windy conditions with it. These warmish winds will break up any lingering inversions and bring rain into the valleys and snow in the hills, with isolated thunderstorms being possible Thursday and Thursday night. After a somewhat lengthy period of quiet weather and high pressure over much of the Intermountain West and California, the Northwest will be somewhat less quiet. The quiet and calm is being replaced by a strong Pacific cold front and low pressure system that's forecast to reach the West Coast by tomorrow afternoon and result in widespread lower elevation and mountain snow through Thursday. The Cascades and Sierra Nevada are expected to get the largest snowfall totals in amounts in excess of 1 foot likely. Precipitation is also expected from Nevada to Colorado as the front moves inland. The big activities of this system are expected to stay north of us here, with only a small 20% chance of rain Thursday and Thursday night. A strong storm system over the eastern third of the nation will continue tracking northward along the crest of the Appalachians and should reach New England by this evening. This system will have a multitude of precipitation types associated with it, including freezing rain across interior portions of the Northeast, where accumulations of 1/4 of an inch of ice will be possible before transitioning to rain. Snow is expected on the backside of the surface low from eastern Kentucky to western New York, where the cold air will be deepest. Closer to the coast, temperatures are forecast to rise into the 50s, near 60 degrees, along with windy conditions before the cold front moves through the region. Numerous winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings are in effect for this storm system. Over the Midwest, a quick-moving disturbance should bring a quick round of light rain, some snow on Tuesday, and then across the Ohio Valley by tonight. Precipitation amounts are expected to be light. The high-pressure ridge to the west shifts over our forecast area late tonight, then pushes east on Wednesday. So, continued dry for our Four Corners area and western slope forecast till Thursday. Generally, there will be fewer clouds and the warm trend will continue. In our 5-day forecast, highs tomorrow through Sunday will be in the upper 50s. For lows, expect upper 20s tomorrow night, still has a reasonable chance of getting above freezing. Sunday night being in the low 20s. Wednesday, clouds ease off with some gusty wind, and Thursday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of rain during the day and night. It will be windy Thursday. Friday, partly sunny, and the weekend nicely sunny. And now back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, Durangoans could be eating more Montezuma County vegetables this year. In the spring, the Mancos-based Southwest Farm Fresh Cooperative will be launching a community-supported agriculture program in Durango, said Olbai, the co-op manager. Customers sign up to receive vegetables, meat, cheese, and locally roasted coffee for 18 weeks through the CSA program. The co-op started doing online direct sales to consumers in 2015 for the Durango community, but the inconsistency of orders was challenging. The CSA model will be more predictable, and if it goes well, the co-op would like to expand it to its other distribution areas, which includes Mancos, Cortez, Dolores, and Telluride. The co-op, entering its third season, has been reliant on wholesale distribution, and it has been seen significant growth since it has started. In 2015, the co-op sold about $100,000 worth of produce, up 40% from the year before, Bai said. But the co-op is still reliant on grants because it is still in its startup phase. This winter, the co-op received a $3,000 grant from the Ballantyne Family Fund to help support operations. The co-op distributes produce from 19 farms. During the cold season, it focuses on honing production plans by taking sales information and working to align it with what farms anticipate they will be growing.
And now from the Cortez Journal, reporting regionally in the vortex of the Four Corners methane hotspot, it's only fitting that the city of Farmington will hold one of only 4 public hearings across the country for a proposal aimed at updating a 30-year-old regulations on methane and natural gas releases from public and tribal lands. This will be held from 1 to 4 p.m. on Tuesday at San Juan College in Farmington. In January, U.S. Secretary of the Interior Sally Jewell put forward new rules that would reduce the wasteful release of natural gas into the environment from oil and gas operations on BLM and Native American lands. Measures would include requiring energy companies to ban intentional releases and burning of waste, routinely inspect and repair leaks, as well as improve and install the most up-to-date technologies and infrastructure. The industry insists that imposing these new regulations will make it more expensive and harder for independent producers to operate, reducing America's total energy production. Still, the Department of the Interior reported U.S. oil production is at its highest level in nearly 30 years. And while that provides affordable energy, substantial increases in methane leaks are imminent if tighter regulations are not put in place. The debate in the Four Corners takes on special meaning. In 2014, satellite images captured a massive hotspot of methane over the Four Corners, which is the second largest producer of natural gas in the U.S. Several leading research groups followed up with a more expansive study last spring focusing on methane sources. The results will be announced in Durango at an event not yet scheduled. Federal agencies seek to crack down on an industry that has been largely unregulated since natural gas boomed during the last 30 years. The EPA also is slated to release new methane rules this spring.
According to the Cortez Journal, Fort Lewis College has gotten an answer to a question it asked about a year ago. Can we increase enrollment if we hire Royal Enrollment Management? The answer is an unqualified yes. President Den Thomas shared some numbers with the school's trustees who were in town this week for their bi-monthly meeting. The number of students who have applied compared with 2015 at this time is up 80%. The most critical number is how many of those students who are accepted confirm they plan to attend FLC, and the beginning of February is a little early to know how that will shake out. But confirmations are also up by 60% over a year ago at this time, an important trend for the college's financial sustainability. The one-year contract with the Royal cost $215,000, said FLC Admissions Director Andy Burns. While the numbers aren't as large, the trend for transfer students is also on its way up, doubling from 9 to 18. Thomas was also happy to tell the board the retention of freshmen from fall to spring semester is up from 84.5% to 89.4%. Students will see an average room and board increase of 2.3% beginning fall 2016 after the FLC Board of Trustees approved a recommendation by Associate Vice President of Finance and Administration Michelle Peterson. Mandatory fees will remain the same, but the board approved some course fee increases, particularly for art classes. Art 101 Drawing 1, for example, will increase from $10 to $75.
The presidential election year is always rife with political campaigning and nonstop advertising, and this year looks no different, if not more so. Politico's following of what is happening in the state of Colorado on the Democratic ticket reported the following. They say that the Clintons have a history of losing here in Colorado. Bill Clinton lost in 1992 caucuses to Jerry Brown, and Hillary Clinton lost them to Barack Obama in 2008. That's not the only reason Bernie Sanders' campaign is making a stand here on Super Tuesday, March 1st. The state is also the Rocky Mountain linchpin for his March strategy, when Sanders hopes to run the table in a series of caucus states. Sanders and his aides are confident that the 4 western caucuses in March here in Colorado, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming are prime territory for his populism among the most committed of party activists who show up for those votes. While his campaign thinks he'll continue to trail among African American voters who will probably give Hillary Clinton a sweep of the southern primaries, his aides contend he's got much better chances with the Latinos, who make up a greater percentage of the voters in the West. Saturday night, Sanders and Hillary Clinton will have their first direct face-off in Colorado at the Jefferson Jackson dinner. Fitting right in with the dynamic of the whole primary race so far, Sanders is hosting a rally ahead of the dinner, while Colorado operatives said they expect Clinton to own the room, thanks in part to filling with members of the Democratic Party's establishment who are supporting her. This time around, the Clinton campaign is looking to this state as the first big test of learning from their wipeout in the caucuses against Obama 8 years ago. Already, the campaign has dumped about a third of its Iowa field staff in Colorado, according to a Democratic source on the ground with close ties to the Clinton campaign. It has opened about 10 field offices around the state. But for the Sanders campaign, a win in Colorado is central to its mission to tie or beat Clinton on Super Tuesday and ride that into more wins in the West. The Clinton campaign has been working on Colorado for months to head them off. This was the first state outside of the early nominating states to get a state director, with Brad Comer, who managed Governor John Hickenlooper's 2014 re-election campaign, on the ground organizing since last fall. As a sign of its commitment, the campaign held more than 36 organizing events around Colorado this week, including phone banks and meetings, a campaign aide had said, and it's sending surrogates. Chelsea Clinton is campaigning in Colorado next week, and Hickenlooper's already participated in an event in Arapahoe County. Sanders was at 3.5% points last May, and at the beginning of January was at 35%. We'll see after March 1st results how the Democrat field plays out. Later, we'll also take a look at what's being talked about regarding the Republican primary outlook for Colorado.
According to the Cortez Journal, a new outdoor gear store has opened in downtown Cortez. Colorado Love Outdoors sells camping, boating, and hiking gear, plus skateboards and blading equipment. Owners Jeff Mobley and Michelle Harrison saw a need for locally owned outdoor shop that caters to the recreation crowd and tourists. Mobley is an experienced boater and Harrison is an entrepreneur with a business school background. The spacious store offers a lot of variety. A river house station features tons of boating gear from dry pants and splash jackets to PFDs, pumps, paddles, and inflatable kayaks. Mobley said the goal is to feature products from smaller vendors that have a Colorado connection. The shop also sells yoga apparel, hats, custom t-shirts pressed by Mobley, accessories, and local artwork. They like stocking products with a cause, such as footwear from Oboz and Jambu, companies that plant a tree for each shoe purchased. Rock climbing gear will be stocked soon, including ropes, shoes, harnesses, and hardware. The store plans a grand opening on February 20th, featuring live music and store discounts. Their winter hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
In today's high country happenings, Mesa Verde invites you to join them on Saturday, February 20th for a special moonlight event. The Moorfield Campground winter trails will be open from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. for snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. This event is free and open to all ages. Bring your skis or snowshoes and enjoy the trails by moonlight. Please be sure to dress for the cold, bring appropriate outdoor gear and a headlamp or flashlight. Snowshoes will be available to check out. Participants are welcome to bring their own hot drinks, but please note refreshments and a campfire will not be provided. Moorfield Campground is located 4 miles past the park entrance on the right-hand side. This event is subject to cancellation due to bad weather. On Saturday, Cortez Elks will host a charity ball with music from 8 p.m. to midnight, formal attire, dinner and dance, silent auction, and gaming. Also on Saturday, music by Ralph Dinosaur and the Fabulous Volcanoes. The whole public is invited to this Elks participation, and you'll want to get in touch with them by calling Carrie Mayhew 970-903-4879 for tickets, as reservations are required. There will also be live music at Blondie's in Cortez on Saturday with one-man band Rob Webster at 8 p.m. There's no cover charge and all ages are welcome. Details go online to www.robwebstermusic.com. We'd love to share information about what's happening to support all of the regional groups, individuals, and communities. So please let us know your event by sending an email to dcbnnews@gmail.com, post to Facebook/DCTV News at Noon, or call 677-4119.
Again, thanks for tuning in. This program is aired live at noon and rebroadcasted at 2:30 and 8 p.m. on Channel 32.1 Dolores County, on Channel 30.4 in Montezuma County, and their cable Channel 5.
You can also rewatch the broadcasts on YouTube at the DCTV News at Noon channel, and check out, share, and like us on the DCTV News at Noon Facebook page.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and all those who are working to bring you DCTV and the News at Noon program from Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. See you next time.